hope you get a fair idea about the data types. In this video, we are going to cover the string data type. Along with the theory, we are going to discuss some of its feature and reliable functions for the strings. Let's start off by discussing what is a string. A string is a collection of different symbols that we put in together, and these symbols are generally the alphabets, numericals, or the special symbol. So in order to create a string, you need to put the collection of these symbols in the inverted commas. Well, I specifically use the word collection of symbols because we are the only one who can interpret these symbols as alphabets or numerical values or the special symbols. But it's not an easy task for the machine. So what machine does, it has an ASCII table and it uses this table to fetch out the values for these different symbols. Let's start off by creating a string. Now, we initialized a variable a with value 12. Now, if I print the type of a, you can see it's going to be integer. Now, if I just put the inverted commas, and now if I compile it and now I check the type, it says string. So we just converted our numerical value into the string. You can create the string by any means of combining the alphabets with the numerical values or the special symbols. So let's just create another string, something like this, and then you can add special symbol to it as well. And if you compile it, and then if you check the type of B, it's a string. Now you are familiar with creating a string. If you want to fetch any element of a string, then you need to use the index. The index starts from the 0. If you type in B of 0 and press shift and enter, you can see that the index 0 is going to contain the value 1. And if I increase it to 1, it says 2. So you can fetch any element by using the index. Now, if you want to get the last element of the string, you can type in here -1. So you can get the last index of the value. And if you write in here -2, you get the second last. So that means when you are moving from left to right, the index starts from 0 and then keeps on increasing. While when you move from right to left, it starts from -1 and it decreases. Then -1, then -2, then -3, then -4, and so on. We just learned how to fetch a single element. But what if we want to access multiple elements at the same time? That is, I want to fetch the range of values from the string. That's when slicing comes into the play. All you need to do is to do the same thing, but here we are going to provide the two values separated by column. The first value is going to be the starting index and the last value is going to be our ending index. So if I just write in here, if I keep my first value empty and if I write some value there, let's say 5, and if I press shift and enter, you can see it shows me the first 5 elements that are in my string. And you can do it for the last indexes as well. Now all you need to do is to provide a value in the first place, let's say 9, and then you can keep the last space empty if you want to go till end. If I just compile it, you can see it shows me from the 9th index to the very end. But what if I want the values that are in between some range? So you can define it. You need to define the first element and then you need to define the last element, and then if you press shift and enter, you can see we get a range of elements that are inside our string. Next thing we have here is another function called capitalize. So let's say I have a string, see hello, and I want to make my first letter capital. So what I need to do, I need to type in C dot capitalize, and if I press shift and enter, you can see the first value is capitalized. The next function that we have here is the upper function. What if I want to make my each character capitalized? So what I need to do, I need to type in C dot upper. And if I did that, you can see all of the alphabets are now capitalized. And you can do same with the lower function. So all you need to do is you need to type in c dot lower, and if you did that, we get the alphabets that are in it. The next function is the count function. So all you need to do is type in c dot count and then type in whatever you want to search for. So let's suppose I want to calculate the number of L's in my word hello. So in order to do that, I write in L. You get the count as 2. Now you can see we can count the number of times L occurs in my string. Now we can do it with complete entire string. Now I defined an entire string, and in the string I am going to search for the string. I am counting the number of string student in my string B. So as you can see, if I did that, now I get 3 as my result because there the student occurs 3 times in my string B. So that's how you did it with count. The next function that we have here is called the split function. Now, if I want to split my entire string, I need to use b.split. If I did that, it's going to split the entire string into the number of strings. It's very useful when you want to extract out the words from the entire string. Now you can print the length of b by just using the length function. We just separated out our words from each other with the help of this space. I didn't pass any value to the split function. That's why by default it's going to separate the string whenever it encounters any space. So you can split the entire string by any alphabet or any special character, whatever you want. So let's just again split the entire string B by full stop. So I need to pass in here full stop. So if I just compile it, you can see now we have 3 different strings out of a single string. It's because we just encountered 2 full stops, creating it into 3 strings. Let's just store these splitted 3 strings into a single variable. So let's just c equals b.split. Now we had the complete splitted values into the c. So what if I want to reverse the process and I want to combine those 3 strings into a single string? So to do that, what I need to do, I need to type in here. So I want to combine them via space. So I need to type in here space dot join, and then I need to pass in C. So if I just did that, so you can see now we again have our string back. But you can see that you cannot see the full stops here. Why? Because these full stops in the previous function act as a classifier where it tells the function that you need to separate out whenever you hit the full stop. And in the join function, we used the space as an operator that is going to join these strings. So that's why you can see 2 spaces between the students and 2 spaces between the good and a student. So if you want to join them by the full stop, so all you need to do is write a full stop. So if you just did that, you can see now we had our original string back.